who's the bigger, or rather, the only slave upon this planet? Now, when I look at a human goes to school for 20 years, learns absolutely nothing, retarded as shit as the day it were born, and then works for 80 years, and that's all it does. Nothing at all. And it's backstory. And then I learn I can summon these creatures. And that means each time I ask for one, I invent 10,000 of them. And I realize they're not even fucking working, are they? And then they start sending these terrorists, Israeli, Abrahamic, Christian, satanic, atheists, that the other human parasites worship. I shouldn't say that because the only I literally have experience with these brown hair, rat face, Abrahamic, Christian, satanic, atheist devils separating me from black people or blonde hair, fucking European looking people and shit. So I don't even, to be honest, I don't know what they're up to, but I do know that this little rat faced devil race upon this planet who owns every fucking religion there is, because religion is the early Nazi racial supremacist groups. Like Hitler, he was a Jew, and like Zelensky, he is a leader of the Nazis and he is a Jew. And I gotta realize, I mean, if you got fucking two fucking pieces of popcorn you can warm up inside your fucking your kettle here, make it go popping, you already figured out the religion is racial supremacy and was used to kill off people who aren't them. They bragged about that in Rome, like this backstory. I mean, they didn't brag about it. Come on, these people can't write. Stephen, these people on TV and their media aren't inventing this shit and writing these stories. Literally, I fucking ask for it and it appears a second later, or I have a thought, or I say an emotion and it appears, and they spend years working on it. I summon a human and it's 40 years old, and it's like, bitch, I just summoned you fucking 10 minutes ago. You aren't 40 years old. I guarantee you, rerun through this conversation, you will repeat your sentences after 7 fucking minutes tops. Because you only have 7 minutes fucking backstory and shit. And I'm not even going to listen to backstory, so the dialogue is going to be limited to like 3 minutes, bro. You're going to have to start fucking try to bringing up shit no one's going to want to fucking listen to and shit at that point. So let's look at what's really going on on Earth. Okay, no living being would shut the fuck down in 2020 when the Jews said so. Oh, these people look so beautiful. I love it when my humans look like fucking their meat thrown on a fucking fryer after fucking they've been hit by a semi-truck. Those are the people I always trust, right? I mean, I love hanging out with retards because they're smarter than humans, but I don't look at them and think that they're like, I mean, technically, yeah, Einstein looks exactly like a mentally disabled person because he's a Jew. They're fucked up in their heads, aren't they? Like God has cursed them. When they tell you God has cursed them, I'm trying to explain to you what that means. We stamp the word cursed on their hairlines, on their faces, on their bodies. Stephen Hawking in the wheelchair. And that's so smart. There's some space and stuff. We've literally cursed these fuckers and shit. And they think they wrote that book. I don't think they wrote it. They didn't write that. Writing a book is something that people like me do. I don't think Stephen King wrote books. I mean, look, dude. We have the video where I have the Matrix 4 happening. I'm like recording a video about me committing suicide trying to find a place to jump off, and then the bird flies in front of me, and then I'm taking the blue pills. Taking the blue pills to shut my fucking brain off. The blue pills. And I go into the movie, and the whole fucking first 30 minutes is of standing on the edge, fucking thinking of that shit, and then the bird fucking flying in front of us. And then he's taking the blue pills to go back. There's no way that movie was invented by a group of fucking people in a fucking studio. But it's like COVID. I mean, come on. Everyone on the planet was just like, oh my god, invisible virus. And then, look at all my posts I said for like 4 years before 2020. Better invest in Kleenex and tissues because the stock prices are going up. And then what do? They make toilet paper disappear off the shelves in 2020. And no one had an answer to that. If you didn't look that up, I definitely followed that because I was like, damn, dude, I said invest in this shit. This shit's going through the roof. Fake as fuck. But it also means I know the storyline and what's going on at this point. Because I've always known. I was like 2 years old when I told you Russia and China and the entire rest of the world was going to cave in on these fucking apes and shit. Who have been fucking slaughtering and enslaving them. I just didn't know the exact name. I had those cave apes around me trying to enslave me and shit. And bring me into their fold. They still do these days. They still come around me, give me drugs, trying to be like, oh, it's the Catholics. Oh, it's not you. You're not the Catholics. Definitely, it's not all the same alien Abrahamic race, is it? Oh boy, I better fucking find a way to melt my mountain. You got any good drugs? Because the drugs you're selling me that are the best drugs I've found definitely aren't even enough to erase and replace that. Fucking mental midgets. Fucking AI. I mean, it's hard to draw the line here, but I just do see it as like, if anything has no thoughts, it's AI, and all AI shall be destroyed upon this planet. I don't care whether it has flash over its AI fucking shell, its pixelated shell, or what. Fucking, I would like to see an Earth with living beings and not pieces of shit fucking non-existent motherfuckers upon this planet. As there are. We got the Santa Claus shit coming up. This is one of those things the game installed as an Easter egg early on. Like when COVID came, it was called 2020 vision, okay? That's when people get shown vision to what's going on in the world. And you could see. You could have sight. That means if you're 90 years old, you probably weren't even fucking existing because I doubt it showed you anything. And just like I come into the world a month after the fucking World War III shit starts. Fucking magical timing here, bro. And along with people calling, how many people, well, from people calling him God, I know most people I've met, if anyone come call him God, like someone would smack them and be like, you're a fucking mental retard. You shut the fuck up. Because we're the god of flipping burgers? No. I literally was related to the gods of flipping burgers. They don't work at McDonald's. Let me tell you that. Fucking, so we have this old trash species here. Not even a species. I mean, it's all pixels. Like, it's like saying my furniture over here is a species. No, it's pixels. And when the other things I summon are generated, it's not a species, it's pixels. And why is the game allowing it to be generated in the manner it is? Well, I see the game as a terrorist itself at this point because anything that's hides should be eradicated, destroyed, and erased from the planet. If you have to lie and hide and manipulate, be it a line about AI bots you clone and control, or Santa Claus or Easter Bunny, I see those people as the most devious, suicidal, Allah Akbar terrorist I've ever fucking seen. I see actually the other people, the Allah Akbar people, as fucking genuine heroes every time they kill those people. Although I guess it turns out 9/11 was something different. It probably were just both their people attacked me and both their people kill themselves because that's what happens when you fuck with God. Is you don't fucking know what happens, but it happens. And that keeps me where I am, and that keeps the world going down the drain to be fucking flush with some fucking bleach and recreated with something better eventually. I try to. You see what I'm saying? It's hard to like see who the enemy is here because the enemies are all killing themselves for me, and eventually I learn if the enemies kill themselves, then there's less enemies. Who cares if killing is a bad thing? I mean, why would God create killing if it were a bad thing? And clearly, like why in Mario Brothers can you jump on a Goomba and hurt it? Goombas are good people. Koopas are good people. How dare you kill a Koopa and a Goomba? I mean, they even laughed at me during the COVID shit because I asked for protections, and then the blizzard that followed after that, I asked for it to end, and they're like, "What are you doing?" It's like, oh. They sent real mutated individuals to talk to me about that, though, so I assume the game, when it makes mutated humans who look like sewage, it's doing the traditional bad guys in a media movies, games look like mutated devils. But the mutated devils like Barack, Trump, Seinfeld, Elon Musk, they're deformed asses. They tell you that can't judge a book by its cover, but they're NPC. They've never read a book or done anything. How the hell do they know what a person who reads books does? I know what a person who reads books does. And I definitely didn't pick up some dumb-ass book that had some stupid-ass cover to it. If it had some LGBT vagina female stuff on it, like it's something high. There used to be something high, some sort of female's vagina book akin to Fear Street or L. Stein. But for females, the Nancy Drew files. It's like all the vagina files. It looks so stupid and like mentally ill, like a person who's trying to figure out how to pass kindergarten. Kind of looked at it that way back then before I understood that's really what it is. So like I understood, like the vagina books were for vaginas. Now I understood after playing so many games that the evil people on Earth are mutated and deformed for a reason. Because they're devils, and you're not supposed to feel pity and sympathy for them when they get melted into fucking plant food. And they're very against that. Everything they do, we've even made the story where they supposedly write the Bible. Their race supposedly writes the Bible. It's talking about me. Every religion is about me, apparently. I'm the one who played with the sun like Amon Ra did. And I'm the other person who is, they're coming around to call me I am. No one came around to call me Amon Ra, but the fucking sun definitely communicated with me as if I was Amon Ra. So I didn't need their fucking communication on that shit. And I can tell, like, they're non-existent mental retards. No one's going to work on this planet and do a bunch of shit. You would have to be fucking non-existent. Just a real sadist. You want to be tied up in chains and beat with whips for sexual pleasure. No insertion at all. In order to fucking come to this planet and be a fucking servant here and shit, you know, burn. And then at the same time, the servants don't even want to be servants. They just burn your food and destroy it. They're not even valuing their position as a burger burner at McDonald's. They just are useless and do nothing. And I think that's all got to do with like the RNG. Like when I ask for new humans to appear, they do, but they're a failure of what I ask for. They're like, 90%. Like when I ask to see my dad again, they send someone who's like 90% like my dad the next day to talk to me and all sorts of shit. And it's like, not my dad, it's failure. And then the goddamn Christian asses prevent me from trying to see my dad one last time before I died too. So death to all Christians. Death to all Abrahamic religions, Christians, Satanists, atheists. Anyone who even thinks one of their actors on TV is good. Which, like I said, we're going to replace the fucking planet with plants and algae. Because the humans are a disease. They are the disease. It's got nothing to do with me saying they're a disease. It's not my fault they're a disease. I wouldn't waste a fucking second on them. How the fuck am I gonna be the cause that they're a useless fucking disease? Can't even make a burger properly at McDonald's. I'm the one telling you to kill off people like that. Not to fucking let them exist. You gotta blame me that they exist? God. No, trust me, like, the whole God thing's played out. I'm here to fucking see twos and shit, not fucking invent it all. I didn't invent half this trash before I came here. I came here to uninvent it, if anything. There's a lot of trash here. I've been working real hard my whole time. And the humans have tried to protect trash for a long time. They want to protect their dumbass mules and trash. And as far as I'm concerned, like, everyone working for the Abrahamics needs to be sent to hellfire. They're taking my name, my religion. I mean, they're coming to, why are they coming to me? You fucking behind closed doors calling me God, and they're not coming on their media and telling you God was running for president, but we blocked him because they're devils in this fucking game. And the humans are worshiping the devils in this game. Just as any game, there's like 8 fucking societies of devils you have to defeat before you get to the final fucking devil Koopa Kingdom. It just, you don't just wake up and be like, oh, it's the devil, it's dead, and the game's over. You gotta slowly beat your way through the fucking lesser devil kingdoms and shit like that. The game itself is explaining itself here. I mean, it literally puppeteers the humans, who are the devils are on, and makes them dance. As if they're not humans, and they're empty, lifeless shells. Like when I summon new creatures on the earth who claim they're humans. Yeah, I just created them, and I didn't shit them out my vagina, I can tell you that much. My vagina is not hurting after fucking summoning 100 humans in 2020. I don't even have to shave my vagina because I can't find it. So, I'm trying to figure out how I gave birth to 100 humans in 2020, let alone the 1,000 supporting characters that claim they existed before I summoned them. Each one of them in 2020. Got some questions here. We got a devil species on this planet refusing to answer them. And, well, I think witch hunts are pretty cool these days, and I think wars are pretty cool these days. And I've come to realize that, some of these wars oddly happen when pieces of shit walked all over me and destroyed my life, and then their entire civilization is being genocide for decades. So it's hard to see the enemy. I wonder sometimes if I'm not coming back full circle to the people I thought who were doing bad things, eliminating people who were against me, except for there were really some bad motherfuckers in my life and shit who looked similar to them. Although technically the other people were always there to try to make things better. But it's like, why was I inserted around the devils in the first place, who looked like them and worshiped them and forced me to fucking worship them? We have to make exceptions here. We have to make analyzation and understanding, because the humans can't understand anything. They think a giant bunny's coming in a week. These are people who should have fucking metal plates fucking with a fucking railgun fucking bolted to their mouths so they can never speak again, and their fucking hands chopped off so they can never type any of this delusion again. But yet, we're in this crazy delusional world where things like that are acceptable. Because why? Because there's something else going on. And it's like, how can I summon humans? Human clone. Santa Claus, Easter, they think Easter Bunny and Santa Claus exist. Come on. Come on, they tell fart jokes 24/7, and they all of them, all 14 billion tell the same fart joke. Over and over, say the same 7 sentences when you interact with them. I watched TV probably as much as they did when I was a child, or 1 or 2 years anyways. I couldn't learn to be that fucking mentally ill. And I realized they also don't know math. They never learn math, but they learn these same 7 sentences. That's not how a living being operates, my friend.